Just one day after Rise of Kingdoms revealed, we're going to be getting 2 new commanders come into the game. We have the information for Casimir and for Pepin, and these are gathering commanders, which is absolutely not something that I predicted. This is not something that I had on my vision board. I did not think that we would be getting more gathering commanders in Rise of Kingdoms in 2025, but as we can see, they are here. That is one way to really do Charles Martel's son dirty. I mean, a gathering. Okay, all right, we're gonna get into it today, but first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. Now, as you guys know, I'm a partnered creator with Rise of Kingdoms, so if you want more rock content, subscribe down below, click the thumbs up, helps out the channel a ton. And if this video is a little bit later than it normally might be for an update video from Omniarch, that's because nobody made a fuss about this. I didn't even know that this came out. I didn't see this on Twitter. Nobody tagged me on Discord. I had no idea that they dropped the information for these commanders because they are gathering commanders. So I don't know if anybody really even noticed that these commanders were revealed, but here we go. Casimir the Third, integration, gathering, and defense commander. Let's take a look here. The active skill, not even going to try to pronounce that, with a 1000 range requirement, deals direct damage to a single target troop for 1400 damage factor for the next 3 seconds. The target deals 10% less normal damage. All right, so that is basically a KVK1 active skill, nothing crazy there. Second skill says you gain 20% gathering speed and their troop gains 10% extra gathering speed when gathering gold. Okay, this is really nice. We love to see some more gold gathering speed. This is like the #1 resource that players need the most of. This is also exactly the same thing as Sunduk's second skill, so this is really nothing game changing. She also has a 1400 damage factor, so this seems like it's probably going to be a legendary commander. Third skill says this commander's troop gains 15% unit capacity. Okay, I mean, you absolutely never really need that from a gatherer, even if you can make the argument that like you would want this to send to a resource hit, like an alliance pit. You still never hit your resource, like you never need that many units, right? Fourth skill says when this commander's troop is gathering from a resource point, siege units gain 40% attack and they deal 25% more damage. Okay, that is not, I mean, again, in the early game, maybe in like KVK1, when there's still farm killers out there, maybe this is relevant. And then finally, if this commander's troop gathers all resources from a resource point, you receive additional resource items. So it's not the same as Sunduk's expertise. She gives you 10% extra resources, which is very good. We see Cleopatra's expertise says you get additional resource items. So it looks like Casimir is going to have an expertise that is more similar to Cleopatra than of Sunduk. Of course, Sunduk's expertise is typically considered much better, so that is definitely unfortunate here. So this commander is just a slightly worse version of Sunduk as far as I can tell, unless I'm missing anything. Let's take a look at Pepin the Third here. Pepin the Third is an integration, gathering, and support commander, and is quite possibly one of the most like, why did I don't want to say he's ugly because that's mean, but like he looks squished down. He just looks little. He looks like a little guy, you know what I mean? Like he looks like Lord Farquaad almost, but he's wider. I don't know, this is like, this reminds me of the JD Vance memes. Like why do these look the same in my mind? It's like they're just so wide. I don't know. Anyway, taking a look at the active skill, this is an AoE. Wow. Okay, this commander's troop gains a damage absorbing shield for the next 3 seconds with a damage factor of 1200. For the next 3 seconds, the troop takes 25% less skill damage. All right, so how is this an AoE? AoE, what? This, you gain a shield for 3 seconds. You take I don't know how that's an AoE. Am I bugging? What is, okay, anyway, moving on to the next skill. 20% gathering speed and an extra 10% gathering speed when gathering wood. Wow, that's really good. 50% load, pretty cool. All right, fourth skill, this commander troop gains is only siege units and it's hit with a basic attack. You have a 40% chance to take 40% less damage for the next 3 seconds with a 7-second cooldown. Also, after this commander troop finishes gathering from a resource point, you will receive an extra 10% resources. So out of the gate, I actually think that this commander is probably better than the other guy. What's his name again? Casimir. That expertise is just really good, so I'm happy about that. The real question though is, are they going to be in the commander sculpture chests? I have a really bad feeling that they won't be, but at the same token, like can you please give me something to use these on? Like, I'm begging you. Like, it's gonna be so, bro, it's gonna be so annoying if I'm gonna have to get these gatherers from gold keys, bro. Don't do that. Just put them in here. Like, I almost feel like, I almost guarantee they won't do that. But like, anyway, at the end of the day, let's be honest here, okay? We've got some really good gathering commanders in the game these days, because Ishida covers your food needs. You have Cleopatra, who covers your stone needs, and now you've got 2 legendaries that cover your gold needs, and you've got a legendary that covers your wood. So you have 2 gold legendary commanders for gathering, 1 food, 1 stone, 1 wood. And now you also have a stone epic, a wood epic, and a food epic. So things are looking pretty good in the gathering department. Did we need these new commanders? I would say, I mean, I don't think we needed them, but it can't hurt, right? Like, getting more resources, having faster gatherers, I think that's always a good thing. The real question is, like, how difficult is it going to be to get these commanders, right? Like, again, if I have to go through gold keys for these, it's just like I don't know. But either way, like, this is ultimately, if they're in the gold keys, that's a good thing. If they're in the commander choice chests, even better, right? That would be even better. Or if they gave us some other way to get these. But the real question is, if these are gathering commanders, where are the cavalry commanders, right? Because when I was going through the mail yesterday, and I think this is something that I discussed in DMs with Chiskel, because we were kind of talking about this, it just doesn't seem like, the way that this was worded, in my opinion, it didn't seem like these were like hinting at the new cav commanders, right? In my, just the way it was worded, it says you'll be able to recruit these brand new heroes in future events, right? Future events. It didn't seem to me like it would be the you know, cavalry release, the wheel and the mightiest governor. Of course it could have been, and I know a lot of people in the community were speculating that it was, because one of these commanders, I don't remember which of the 2, I think it was Casimir, one of them is like known for using cavalry. So, you know, I think there was some hopium going around in the community that these were the new calves, because people are like dying for them. I mean, just look at my channel, my video where I recently posted my speculation for these new commanders and what I think the new calves are going to be. If you guys missed that video, check it out on the channel. But people really like that video. People are dying for more cavalry news, and so I think the hopium was high here that you know, they would kind of just speed up the release cycle and just get, you know, because we have Matthias and the other guy, the some Afonso. Those are the new, sort of the next, I should say, commanders coming to the game. We have a leadership and a ranged, and I don't think, you know, not to knock the ranged players like I usually do, but that is, you know, ranged and leadership is like the least popular and the least exciting release for a majority of players, right? I mean, that's not even my opinion. You just look at the view numbers for those commanders compared to like the release of Emperor Qin or the release of Ai Chi or whatever. Like, when commanders are revealed for infantry, cavalry, and archers, the community gets excited. When there's a reveal for leadership and range, there's like, you know, maybe 20% of the people actually care about that, right? It's like people don't really care. So I think people were hoping that Casimir and Pepin were going to be sort of, you know, the new calves, and they were just gonna like kind of speed up the release. Like, okay, let's get this leadership cycle out of the way so we can get, you know, to the stuff people care about. But unfortunately, they are gathering commanders, and they are average at that. They're not even better than the regular gathering commanders that we have. They're just more of the same. And realistically, like I said, another gold gatherer, fantastic. Another 10% gathering expertise, fantastic. These are things that, you know, I'm excited for. I'm just not really excited to build them, right? Like, I'm not, it's just it's going to be annoying to me to have to, if these are only in gold keys, I'm going to find it a little bit annoying, because it's just like, man, I'm kind of tired of building gold key command, you know what I mean? Like, it will literally take me another 5 years to expertise these guys without using universals, right? So I really hope these are in the choice chests, because otherwise, like, man, that's going to be real annoying. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, consider dropping a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel a ton. It helps get this video out into the YouTube algorithm so other Rise of Kingdoms players might see it. And drop a comment down below telling me what you think about Casimir and Pepin. I would love to hear from you guys down below. Are you happy that we have more gatherers so we can gather more resources for KVK, or do you think that this is a little bit redundant and a little bit of a waste? Let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new here. Click the bell to be notified the next time I upload a Rise of Kingdoms video. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Peace.